Welcome to Business Credit 101, a brief look into business funding. So, I typically get a lot of different questions in regards to my business mastery class. And so, people want to know different things before they join in on that class. So, I said, hey, let me put these questions that people have into a free resource for people so that they can see exactly what it is that they need to do to acquire business funding. So, what is business credit? Business credit is a company's ability to buy something now and pay for it later. By establishing a great business credit rating, you may make it easier to borrow money when your company needs it. A lot of times, companies fail because they don't have access to capital, right? They don't have any funding available. They may not want to use their own cash. And so they fail, right? They go under. And so that could happen to anybody. So, to alleviate that, building out your business credit profile properly so that you can establish business credit is very ideal, and it's almost needed these days. So, let's get into exactly what you're going to need. So, what's needed to establish business credit? I know a lot of people think that this may be very elementary, rudimentary, but I can assure you, most times when people are denied their applications and I do their business evaluations, they don't have half of the things on this list. And so, the first thing you need before you even file your business is a virtual business address. You can get one through iPostal One, Opus Virtual Offices, Regis, or your local share working co-working space. This is needed because you want to have your business appear as if you are a commercial enterprise. After you have that address, and you can also get that through a registered agent, right? A registered agent is the person that can be listed on your filing and you can use their address. So you can also do that by finding a registered agent in your state. Register your LLC, S Corp, or C Corp. So whatever you decide, depending on the tax advantages for either of those three, based on your business, the type of business that you're doing, and the income that you desire to make, you'll select one of those entities. And once you do, you'll need to get your EIN. This is like your business social security number, right? You get that from the IRS. And it is the DNA of your business, that EIN number. It is free. All you have to do is go to the IRS website and fill out the application, and you will get it immediately. The DUNS number, the Duns and Bradstreet at dnb.com, that is a free number. That number is specifically for their business credit bureau. You cannot use your EIN to develop a credit profile on their business credit reporting system without having a DUNS number. It is free. You just have to go to their website. I actually posted a video a few days ago on my Instagram profile that shows you how to walk through and get that number for free, what you need to do so that you're not paying a third-party service to actually get that number. You also need to create a website. Even if it's an informational landing page, that is completely fine. It needs to say what your business is, what you do, who do you serve. Just very informational, because again, you want to appear and be a corporate entity so that you seem credible to lenders. You also need a professional email address. A professional email address is not robscatering@gmail.com. That is still considered personal. A professional email address would be customer service@robscatering.com, right? So associated with your domain name that you have purchased for your business, that domain name, for your website, it's going to be associated with that. Your email address needs to be a professional email address. You need a business phone line, a phone line that is separate from your from your personal line, because, when they're doing their virtual site visits and risk factor checks as lenders do, and they put your phone number in, if they decide to skip trace that business, your personal information is going to pop up, right? Because you've been using your phone number everywhere on many different credit applications, on many different things your whole life with your phone number. It's intertwined with it's your personal number. So you do not want that intertwined with your business line. You can get a 1-800 number that can ring to your personal phone. There are several different options available to have a secondary dedicated business phone line. You also need to get listed on 411 and Google, right? So when you go to listyourself.net, you're going to need that number and you're going to need that virtual business address so that, again, people can see you as credible and that you are an efficient corporate entity. Business.google.com is where you can get listed on Google, as well as Google Maps, so that when people Google your business, you automatically pop up. Another reason as to why you want to have that dedicated phone number and virtual business address, so that they're not getting in contact with you personally. They are getting in contact with your business entity. And open up a business bank account. This is a very important step because you may need a bank reference. Also, you want to have that deposit account relationship. So therefore, when you get into, the top tier funding for credit, you already have that relationship. They feel comfortable with you. They know who you are, and you are deemed as credible. And all these steps need to be completed before you go and get your business bank account, because when you get your business bank account, they're going to do what we call a virtual site visit, and to verify that you are not a scam artist, that you are a legitimate business or a legitimate startup business, and that they are not, doing bad business with you, right? So you need all these things done prior to going and opening up that bank account. So after you have done those 11 foundational steps, right, to getting your business credible, you're going to want to go to Tier 1 business credit. And that's typically Net 30 accounts, which are accounts that extend you 30 days to pay the bill in full after you have purchased products. Net 30 accounts allow you to buy now and pay later, commonly known as vendor credit, supplier credit, and trade credit. It's the Uline, the Quill, the Granger, and so many more. In my business mastery course, I actually, have quite a long, extensive list that we go over. But these accounts do not require you to have any type of personal guarantee. These Tier 1 accounts, because they are vendors and suppliers that want you to do business with them, right? So they'll say, hey, buy this, and we'll report your payment experiences to the business credit bureaus. And so with the Net 30 accounts, you're going to want to pay them 10 days after your balance is posted, only because, the Paydex score is generated based on your payment history. So the sooner you pay, the higher your score is going to be, right? The longer it takes you to pay, the lower your score is going to be, because they see that as a risk factor. And so to lower that risk factor, you need to pay 10 days or sooner when that balance posts on that account. That is going to be the greatest hack of building your business credit with these Tier 1 accounts, is to pay that balance fast. As soon as it posts, you need to really make that payment. Tier 2 accounts. Tier 2 are companies that will conduct a business credit check before extending the credit. Tier 2 usually includes larger credit lines and longer net terms, right? So your Tier 2 are going to be those accounts that, yes, they're net terms, but they may do net 55, they may do net 60, they may do net 45, right? So there are longer times that they give you to pay as a business, because you have some experience with those Net 30 accounts, right? So they're going to give you longer to pay. Typically, we call this the retail tier. That may be Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy. There's, again, so many more that we have in the Business Mastery course that my clients take advantage of once they get to the Tier 2 credit. You want to at least build out your Tier 1 profile to have at least, 5 before stepping into the Tier 2. Right? That's going to get you the best access to the best terms, right? Those longer terms that you need in order to finance things that you need for your business. And then Tier 3. Tier 3 accounts are typically revolving lines of credit and longer net term accounts. They can also be corporate charge cards issued by major banks. So Tier 3 is kind of a mixture of, longer net accounts, right, that have larger limits, right? Because typically when you have a net 30, they may have you $1,000, maybe $2,000, right? But when you get to the tier 3 net accounts, they may give you 7,500, they may give you 10,000, right? So, they may give you $20,000, especially with Shell and Wex, because they are considered fleet cards. So they will have larger limits and longer terms. And similar to the Sam's Club MasterCard, which that card you can use at more places than just Sam's Club. They also have a store-only card, which is easier to get if you do not have a strong profile. The MasterCard definitely is going to require you to have tier 1 and tier 2 built out absolutely successfully before you go and apply. And you do want to apply for that Sam's Club card in store in order for you not to have to do the PG. A lot of these websites will have and ask for your social security number once you get to tier 3. Right. But if you go into their store, they do have non-PG applications. And also, if they don't have a physical location and they are asking for your social security number, there are ways to avoid having to do a personal guarantee. There are tips and tricks that we talk about inside the Business Credit Mastery course in order to build out that business credit profile without having to personally guarantee when it comes to tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So here we are at tier 4. Tier 4 are indeed revolving accounts issued by major banks. This can be in the form of credit cards or lines of credit. A business credit check will be performed as well as a personal credit check. Tier 4, like I said, are going to be your national banks: Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, US Bank, Amex. They do not do non-personal guarantees on their accounts unless your business revenue has met a threshold. These national banks have a threshold of a minimum of $5 million. If your business is not making $5 million, then boom, they're going to require a personal credit check, right? Their applications just absolutely call for it online. Now, there are some tier 3 accounts that will allow you to select no personal guarantee and allow you to state that your business is making that amount of money, right? So it's a stated income versus a provable income. But when you get to tier 4, these you have to prove if you want a non-PG account. Right. So again, I don't care what guru in the world tells you that, but when you get to these cash accounts, you're going to need a personal credit check. Now, they will not report to your personal credit profile unless you default. Right. So if you need to spend $10,000 on your credit card, it will not affect your utilization rate on your personal because it's not ever reported unless you default. Now, lines of credit are cash accounts. And so basically a line of credit is a set amount that a bank gives you and you can go into the bank and withdraw that in cash or deposit that as cash into your business bank account. Right? That's very great, especially when you're in industries that do require a lot of cash transactions. If you're needing to pay people out, contractors and things of that nature. I know I'm in real estate and sometimes my subcontractors do want to be paid out in cash. So if you just have credit, then you may not be able to pay those people out. And if you don't want to use your own, then you will need a line of credit where you can go into the bank and withdraw that as cash. So that's a tier 4 account, right, with national banks. And again, they will require personal credit checks. Now, smaller banks, right? So those local banks where there's only one in your entire city, right? Is that bank, and that's the only bank in the entire world for that specific bank. They have different underwriting guidelines, right? So they are a little bit more lenient. They may say, hey, your business can make X amount of dollars and we'll do a non-PG, but again, for the national banks, they do have a threshold of 3 to 5 million in revenue before they do a non-PG account for you. And here we are at tier 5. Tier 5 are installment loans granted to your business. This can be for equipment, this could be for vehicles, or cash out secured loans, like Blue Vine, Fundbox, Bank of America, PNC, where you can go in there and get a loan. So you need a $50,000 loan for your business. They deposit that as cash in your business bank account. Or, you can just take the cash if you need $50,000 in cash to walk out the bank with. If they have that available cash on hand, then they'll give that to you, right? But it's a loan that is unsecured, right, for your business. That is tier 5. Or it can be secured with equipment, right? So maybe you need your business is a landscaping company and you need some power equipment, and so you can get loans for that. And you can also get vehicles with your business credit, right? And so when it's tier 5, when it's a secured loan for equipment or vehicles and things like that, there are lenders that will not require a personal guarantee. So there are different lenders out there, such as Ally, that will allow you to get a Mercedes Benz in your business name without having to use your personal credit, right? But you have to have a strong credit profile from tier 1 to 4 in order to do that. They're not just going to let a brand new, business with no type of credit experience at all just go out and buy a car underneath your business name with no personal guarantee at all. Now, the time in business is not so much. It's not so much, a heavy thing for like Ally. Ally doesn't have like, oh, well, you got to be in business a minimum of 2 years and things like that. Ally will fund you as long as your business credit profile is built out. And so typically, though, if you need a strong business credit profile, it's going to take you 6 to 9 months anyway, right? So at that point, then you can go to those lenders and say, hey, I need this, right? So again, the non-personal guarantee credit is going to be from tier 1 to tier 3, right? Meaning you don't need to really input your social security number on these applications. Now, some will ask in regards to verifying who you are, right? As the business owner, as the signer, right? So tier 1 to tier 3, they may ask you for that social security number, but it'll say this will not affect your personal score. This is no personal guarantee. We are needing to verify that the human being doing this application is indeed this individual, right? So they'll do that check, right? They'll run that soft pull, right? But it's not for your credit, but it's more for your identity purposes. So they may pull a LexisNexis report on you versus a Experian or a TransUnion. Because again, they're doing this to verify who you are, right? And so when you get to tier 4 and tier 5, that's when you're going to have to start using that personal credit in order to get the things that you need, unless it's a secured loan, like I said, for a vehicle or equipment for your business. There are lenders that simply do not require you to do that personal guarantee. Business credit is so amazing, like I said, because it allows you to scale your business and do things that you may not have been able to do because you may not have the cash to do it. You may have an e-commerce store where you need to expand your inventory. So you need to buy more so you can sell more. You can't have $1 million sale and don't have $1 million worth of inventory, right? So whatever that equivalent is, right? Meaning if you don't have inventory worth $1 million, you can't sell it. You'll never make those numbers, right? And so you need to scale your business. And quite frankly, it is definitely easier to get $1 million in credit than it is to make $1 million. And that's just the facts, right? And so what you need to do, like I said, is build out that business credit properly. So here we are. If you are interested in diving deep into this business credit and actually building out things deeper and wanting more information, I do have 3 options for you in my business credit mastery. So I do have a DIY course where you simply just, sign up for that course and you are walking yourself through all of these steps that we talked about. It is a course that I go in depth with all of this information. And you're building out your business credit profiles yourself. You may be very self-efficient, so you can do all these things on your own time at your own pace. And then we have the group coaching program. The group coaching program is where it's multitude of you all going through the business credit mastery together with me, right? So we have weekly Zoom calls where we are going and we're filling out applications. We are diving deep into information and talking about how you can get those apartments in your business name, how you can get those vehicles in your business name. We're doing Q&A sessions where you're able to ask me questions directly so that you can be on that sheer success. You also have access to a private Facebook group so that you can actually, ask questions in there, and you can share your accolades and your wins, and also, have that peer support that you're going to need while you're building out this business credit profile. You do have access to the course as well. And like I said, you have access to me because, like I said, we're going to be, on video, twice a week with the group coaching program, walking you through step by step on how to get these things together and your way to success. And then we have the Done For You program. Is basically once you file your business and you have completed all of those 11 foundational steps, I will build out your tier 1 to 5 for you. It's completely done for you, right? And so some people just simply don't have the time to build out their profiles, and that's perfectly fine, right? And so they say, hey, I'd rather just pay somebody to do that, right, in order to save the time that they don't have, right? So again, all three depends on what you're looking for. Like I said, if you're self-sufficient, self-paced, and things of that nature, you can do the DIY. If you need some hand-holding and you want to be secured in learning all of this information and be face-to-face with me virtually, the group coaching is definitely for you because, again, like I said, it's just so much support that goes into that group. And then the Done For You if you just simply don't have the time and you need somebody to take the wheel. You can access all three of these options via the link in my bio. Just like you clicked on this, as well as the email that you received to get access to this free course, will have the link that you can, if you decide to go and purchase one of these 3 packages. Again, my name is Kylan Mara. Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me and listen to this Business Credit 101. Hopefully you gained some valuable information so that sets you on the right path.